Tonight, new details about that daring and dangerous rescue of an American aviator shot down over Iran. This as President Trump escalates his threats and taunts to leaders of the Islamic Republic. In a profanity-laced post today, Trump demanded Iran, quote, "Open the expletive strait, you crazy bastards, or you'll be living in hell." Trump ended the post, "Praise be to Allah." Iran tonight defiant and firing back. Missiles hit several targets in the Gulf region as well as this residential building in Haifa, Israel. CBS's Charlie D'Agata leads us off with new reporting on that harrowing rescue. Charlie.
Good evening, Jerika. U.S. officials and White House sources tell CBS News this was a complex operation involving dozens of U.S. commandos and several dozens warplanes and helicopters in the search and eventual rescue of the F-15 crew member. Video this morning purports to show the smoldering wreckage of two U.S. C-130 transport planes that were involved in the rescue mission on a remote base in Iran. Sources tell us American forces blew them up in order to avoid them falling into enemy hands, standard U.S. military practice. Attack helicopters and aircraft kept Iranian forces from getting anywhere near where the crewman was hiding. Armed Iranians had been scouring the mountainous terrain to find him first, with the promise of a huge cash reward. But a Trump administration official tells CBS News the CIA was deeply involved, not only in the hunt, but in a ploy to spread false information inside Iran that U.S. forces had already found him and were transporting him by ground out of the country. The race to find the two-man F-15 crew began on Friday. The pilot was rescued within hours of the fighter jet being brought down. He sustained some injuries. We've learned the second crewman is seriously wounded, according to President Trump. The downing of the jet came amid a fierce U.S. bombing campaign in Iran, including blowing up Iran's biggest bridge linking Tehran to key cities. Iran says more than a dozen people were killed. And Iran has continued to retaliate, striking an oil refinery in Iraq, launching strikes across the Gulf, from Bahrain to Kuwait, Dubai, Saudi Arabia, and more missile barrages in Israel. Today, President Trump set a deadline for Iran to open the Strait of Hormuz by Tuesday. And Jerika, he said there will be a press conference tomorrow afternoon from the Oval Office with military officials when they will share more details of the rescue operations.
Charlie D'Agata from London, thank you. Tonight, the president's latest demands on Iran and his language are drawing scrutiny and criticism. CBS's Taurean Small is at the White House with reaction from some lawmakers. Taurean.
Good evening, Jerika. For the first time since he addressed the nation on Wednesday, we saw the president, but it's this curse-laden social media post that's drawing attention. The president visited his Virginia golf club today shortly after lobbing that profanity-laced threat at Tehran that he's going to start bombing bridges and power plants on Tuesday. Iranian Parliament Speaker Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf responded on X, calling Trump's threats reckless and telling the president, quote, "You won't gain anything through war crimes." In Washington, the president's post drawing condemnation.
This is outrageous behavior from this president.
There's no amount of cursing or boasting or tough talk that will cover up for the fact that this president didn't have a rationale and he doesn't really have a plan.
Former Republican Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene called the president, quote, insane. The president's demands to reopen the strait appears to contradict what he said just a few days ago. Let other countries fight over the waterway.
We don't need it. We haven't needed it, and we don't need it.
The former head of U.S. Central Command, Frank McKenzie, telling Face the Nation Trump likely won't blink first.
I would say the Iranians would be very well served to listen to President Trump when he says he's going to hit them, because he's proven that he's willing to do that.
An Iranian spokesman said today the strait would be reopened only after Tehran receives compensation for war damages. Jerika?
Taurean Small at the White House.